So it depends on if we're talking my virginity with girls or my virginity with boys. I had this friend that we grew up together and we just kind of experimented together. And it was pretty cool. We weren't like dating, we were just friends that tried stuff because we were young. When I was a little bit older, I started actually dating, and I was monogamous with a boy, and we dated for a few months before I actually like did the thing. And I don't know, it was all right.
I was 19 and it was with my like college sweetheart. Like we were like dating all through college and we were both virgins and it was super cute and just like something out of a teen movie.
I didn't lose my virginity in Vietnam because it's so taboo. There's no no sex at all. And I lost my virginity when I was 18. I know I waited because my mom sent me to an all-girls school and I couldn't find any cocks around. So until I go off to college, then I find a cock. So I fuck him. I don't even remember his name actually. So if you're watching this, you know, maybe be proud because you took my virginity. You make me a slut, America. But I love it. I love American men. That's why I love, you know, I like to learn more English so that I could throw myself at them more.
I lost my virginity to a prostitute. I was 17 and a bunch of friends, they were going to like a whorehouse. But I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I went, and that's how I lost my virginity, to a prostitute who didn't speak English.
17 and a half. I was at a house party. It was the first and last time I ever had a Four Loko. And I was like, oh, let's just do the sex thing. And that was cool. And he thought he was putting it in my butt, but it wasn't. My pussy was just really tight. So I just let him think it was in my butt. He's like, oh, you like me fucking your ass? I was like, yeah, I do. He actually does gay porn now.
I lost my virginity in college, actually. Gave a guy my phone number, and I was pretty drunk, and I told him to come over, and then he came over and fucked me. No magic, no sparks, just simple got fucked in the ass, you know?
I first had sex when I was 14 years old with another 14-year-old boy at my summer school who went and stole his dad's van. We both snuck out in the middle of the night and had sex in this van in a lot kind of back around and behind a Waffle House. And we were interrupted by the police. So, the first time I had sex, my parents heard about it, and I was so very grounded.
I lost my virginity in Arkansas, and I had a girlfriend at the time. She and I were sitting at our house, and we thought it would be a good idea to go over to our friend's house and like fuck around with him. And little did he know that we were both coming to basically lose our virginity together, you know? We were girlfriends at the time, but we'd hooked up. So essentially, that's a mental virginity lost right there. But there was no actual penetration between the two of us, you know, outside of the normal, I guess, fingers and stuff. We didn't have any strap-ons or anything. So we decided we wanted to go over to his house. So we broke into his house. He lived in like a gated community. It was, you know, apartments and stuff. It was like this gated place. So first of all, we had to hop over the gate and we had to like run down to his house and stuff. And we knocked on the wrong door, first of all. We ran into his house, flung the door open, and we thought we saw him like sitting on the couch, and we started jumping on him on the couch, and then he flings the covers off and it's not him. And we're like, oh my God, are we still in the wrong place? And here he comes out of the bedroom. He's like, what are y'all doing? And we're like, oh my God, we're here to have sex with you. And he's like, please stop jumping on my little brother. Yeah, I lost my virginity in a threesome, so.
I was in high school. We were all at like, well, I'm from Texas, so we were like at somebody's ranch that had like deer blind type thing. So it was somebody I had like really crushed on for a really long time. And we ended up deciding to have sex like at night, but it was really embarrassing because obviously it was the first time I ever had sex, so I thought, well, we had sex, and then he like got up and everything. That I came back and he was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me you were on your period? But I wasn't on my period. Little did he know it wasn't my period. He just popped my cherry.
I was 16. I could drive finally, and I was dating this guy. He was my high school sweetheart for like 3 years. We dated all the way up until senior year, and I lost my virginity to him, and I really like it. I think it's cute. I wouldn't take it any other way. So I'm happy I lost it with that person. It was, we had just gotten done with school and we went over to his house. And I remember like we both had never had sex, so it was like a good like way to sort of lose it because you both didn't really know what you were doing. And so we were upstairs in his room and then we heard the garage door open and his mom came home, so we were like, ah!
I lost it to a boy in high school. He was like my first like boy crush, and yeah, he came over after school and we had some fun.
We were just fooling around at first, and of course he was teasing me with his dick, the tip of his dick. I like it when a guy actually teases me with the tip of his dick and touches my clit with it. So that's what he was doing at first. And then he tried putting it in, and then I was like, it's okay, keep going. It hurts. And then it went in, miraculously.
I was having sex with my best girlfriend's friend, and it was really short and uneventful, but I was really psyched that I lost my virginity.
I lost my virginity the weekend after the Patriots won the Super Bowl when I was in 10th grade. And this is literally the reason I remember it, is because I'm from New England and the Patriots won the Super Bowl. So of course I'm going to remember that event and thereby my losing my virginity. I think it was the Monday after, because we had a snow day. So we had the day off and I was over one of my friend's houses. And we were having a sleepover, parents had gone to bed, and the guy who I ended up losing my virginity to, I had known since I was in preschool. So like, we're all good friends. And I was half joking, and I was like, if you walk over to my friend's house, I'll totally sleep with you. Now, mind you, this is about a 7-mile walk from his house to my friend's house, and there's a blizzard because we are in New England, hence we have no school, and he did it. So because he did it, I was like, okay, well, I guess you've earned it. And so I ended up losing my virginity to him.
It was my high school boyfriend. He was a hockey player, and it just kind of happened. It wasn't what I expected, though. I was thinking it was going to be like a pile of blood, and I just bled like a little bit, and that was it.
I skipped high school one time, and I went to my boyfriend's house, but the day that I decided to skip school, my mom's car broke down, and so she came home early, and so I almost got caught, but I was able to sneak out. But my mom's friend who drove school buses was also a substitute driver for my school that day, and so while I was walking past the school to my boyfriend's house, my mom's friend who was driving the bus just so happened to be there that day at that moment and saw me. So by the time I got to my boyfriend's house, my mom had called me, my dad had called me, the school had called me, my therapist called me. They were threatening, they were going to do this, they were going to do that, they were going to send me to live with my dad. And so I thought, babe, we may never see each other again. This could be our last moments together, and so we must make love and take each other's virginity, because this may be our final moments. And so we tried, but we didn't know how, and it was very painful.
I lost my virginity to someone who is a piece of shit. He wasn't a piece of shit at the time. Well, I guess he was. It was on the couch in my parents' basement. Sorry, Mom and Dad, we don't have the couch anymore, so it's fine.
Was dating a guy in high school and didn't want to even lose his virginity. So I kind of just, I don't know, after messing around a bunch, I kind of like, come on, I'm tired of just kissing and groping, and we kind of got into it, and I lost my virginity in my room on a futon, on a squeaky futon.
I went over to a boy's house and we had sex on his couch.
I lost my virginity back when I was like sneaking into rock clubs in Hollywood, and it was technically on a toilet, and very quickly and drunkenly, and with this band dude.
I was 19, so I was needy and I needed a lot of attention and I needed a committed relationship and things of that nature. And it really wasn't about the sex at all.
When I was a sophomore in high school at a party, we had driven out to Hollywood for my friend's, to her dad's house in Hollywood, and everybody got really, really drunk. And the boy that I had a crush on showed up, and we ended up having sex. I don't even really know how it happened, and it was not the ideal situation to lose your virginity. But yeah, it happened.
It was in high school, and I was younger than I am now. I was in the front seat of a car parked at a park, and he was laying down, and I got on top of him, and neither of us knew what the fuck we were doing. I don't think I came, but I can't remember, and if I can't remember, that's probably a sign. He definitely did, and I kept having sex with that person for another 3 years after that. Not sure how much better it got.
People say usually when you lose your virginity it's supposed to hurt, or people just kind of do it once and they take a break for a while. And I knew once I started having sex I would never stop, so I tried to wait for as long as I could, and I was finally 16. He got a hotel room, we had like a 24-hour binger of sex, went through like the whole pack of condoms and then some. So I started off with a bang, and he still never believed that it was my first blowjob or anything, but it was.
My virginity story was with a boyfriend in high school who we had been dating for like 9 months or something. I was very nervous. He was a lot more experienced than I was. We had sex. It was beautiful. It was really nice. He was gentle. He was tender. He was kind. And then the next day I felt this this sort of clinging like attachment that I'd never really felt before, and I suddenly got like really afraid that like, oh my god, what if that was it? What if he was just in it for this, and like now I don't know. So I got to school the next day. I go up to our table where we all hang out in the morning, and he had a handwritten card and a single rose waiting for me just to like show me how much he appreciated me and loved me, and it was just such a beautiful experience.